Welcome back to YouTube, you guys. JP here with JP Street Performance. Today is the final day of assembly. We still are waiting for the machine torch. However, that's pretty easy to install. But we're gonna go ahead and get all the gantries on, get the table sealed together, dropped in place. We gotta rearrange the shop a little bit for room for this thing since it's quite a bit bigger than our old JD's garage table we had. So we're gonna go ahead and get this video started, you guys. All right, we're gonna start by removing the Allens from the ends of the rods here. I got these two out. We'll go ahead and pull the rest of these out real quick. Okay, got all four of these out. All right. Slip the Y-axis gantry BB left from the left side of the table over the upper square tube mounts. All right. So left side of the table. So this is considered our right. It's considered our left when you're looking at it. This is going to be where our control head is. So I had marked these in the last video. We got BB right here. So this is going to be our left. So we're going to go ahead and we want the gears to be at the top, like so. This is going to be a little more complex. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 and 1 for now. Since we don't have a helping hand, we're going to very gently slide this over, like so. And we're going to install Let's see what's going on here. Oh, I see. We're gonna have to remove this. That hole cut out is for this bolt. So we're gonna have to remove these bolts apparently and then reinstall them so this can slide over because I don't wanna pry this out. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. All right, the hardware is actually pre-installed on the legs. They're not necessarily in the right orientation because these legs, you can use this leg for that leg for that leg, etc., except for the one that's got the bolts for the control head. But so take out all the bolts. There'll be 3 on each side. Take them out, set them to the side. We are going to take those 3 little bolts and we're going to answer the phone first. Okay. Now, as I was saying, we're gonna go ahead and get this set up. We'll take a couple of the small bolts. We got them set up there. Okay. This will go like so. Beautiful tight fit. I use these rods to help hold it up for now until we get these lined up. Okay. Okay. One bolt started here. Okay. Okay, another bolt started. Another one loosely started. Okay. No. Let's grab our big bolt that dropped. It'd be 6 bolts per side. Well, 3, 3, 3, and 3. So we're going to go ahead and grab 3 more of these. We're going to go ahead and get these lined up. Another one. Another one. And another one. There you go. So now that those are finger tight, we can add these guys into here. There you guys go, if you can see that. I'm going to put the 2 rod bolts in on both sides. All right. So the setup for this and this side are the same. We're going to go ahead and speed this thing up for you guys. So again, you just repeat what you did on this side. Then you want to make sure you go back and you tighten your crossbar for the front and rear crossbars, the 4 bolts there. Remove the gantry track end caps. Roll the Y-axis gantry assembly with hardware installed left onto the left gantry. Okay, so the end caps are these little guys. So we are going to get our gantry. Let's find what size that is. That's going to be the second to smallest one. Yep, sure enough. All right. I think we probably want to remove it from this side because we have the track doesn't start till here. So let's remove this side and see. Okay. 1, 2. It's really, really hard for me, you guys, to not look at this like a vehicle, because on a vehicle, your left is your driver's side because it's based off of the driver's seated position. So every time I see left, I want to think driver's side. So that's what I keep getting confused on. Technically that is driver's side and it is my left when I'm looking at it. So I'm, you know, hopefully that makes sense. But I keep second guessing myself. I'm like, wait, which one's left? But I got to remember, right is where the machine head's going to be. So, okay. So the first one is our left gantry, which is the left gantry is the one with the stoppers. So this goes like so. Oh, apparently you got to remove the little end cap. All right. And this is going to ride beautifully on those rods. Okay. Same thing here. We're going to have to remove the end cap. Okay, now we're going to install the right gantry. Oh, remove the end cap on this one as well. You guys can see there's the gear. So these ride nicely on these stainless steel rods, top and bottom. Okay, we can go ahead and put our end caps back on, I believe. Reinstall gantry end caps, yes. So we can reinstall the gantry end caps. Yep, just making sure everything's looking right, which it is. Awesome, so let's go ahead and put those caps back on real quick. Okay, these are on. All right, so next is our, what they consider our X-axis gantry. So it's gonna be this big guy right here. We'll go ahead and get started on that. Remove the 4 bolts here. I already removed those 4. Just set them down out of the way. So what I did is I set these up to where the gear is on the very last tooth on both. So I know in theory they should be pretty dang squared when I go to put this on. So now we got to see whereabouts our gantry goes. Okay, the tracks are on the back side. So again, if you have help, this would be an excellent time for that help. I, however, don't currently have any help, so I just got to manhandle it a bit. Make sure none of my wires are getting caught up, which they are not. Okay, there you guys go. I got 2 bolts started. That should be enough to hold them up. And it just says install all 4 bolts on both sides. So, which one is this? Okay, so not this one. Okay, so we want to make sure all of our bolts are starting. 2. Found that lifting up on the gantry helps to line these up really well. Okay, we're going to tighten all 4 of these. All right, so our next step, now that that's bolted up, is going to be plugging in our crossover cable and limit switch. So we are going to, the limit switch goes to the bottom. And there should be some kind of marking in here. Pin 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes, so you should only be able to go one way. There you go. That's that. And then the next one is this one here. Goes to the top. And okay, there you go. And connecting all of these on this side. If you guys can see this, so I'll move you over real quick. There you go. Okay, where are we? Crossover cable, there we are. Goes to the top. Where are we? These ones. Come on here. Okay. Then we have our top left is going to be the X-axis and torch height control motor. This is here. This one here. Okay, and finally, the X-axis limit switch cable connector, which is this lower one. Okay. Those are connected. This one does not get connected yet. Next, we're going to take our limit switches. Our left and right switch, you want the bevel to be facing inwards on this left gantry, so this wheel can hit it and ride up and shut it down. You're going to remove the pre-installed hardware at the end of the gantry and then install those with that existing hardware. All right, something to be aware of, you guys, is that the 2 bolts at the end for the limit switch brackets are double threaded. So they're threaded through the bracket and there's a nut on the backside. So make sure you take the nut off first. It took me a second to figure that out. Take the nut off first, just from back here, and then unscrew this from the bracket threads itself. Moving on. Verify limit switches will contact the trigger before you collide running off the gear of the rack. So we're gonna test that real quick. That puts us at, as soon as it clicks, we are right at the very last tooth. Same thing here. You want to verify that the gear doesn't go off the track before the switch actually engages. So, okay. That one's close. I mean, it's very, very close. I would say it's still able to engage, but I'm sure there's an adjustment on these. And it's right at, like, it just, I mean, it stops. I guess that stops perfect, because if the gear engages, yeah, it works. Okay. Push from the middle. All right. Yeah, verify switches will contact trigger before you collide running off the gear rack. If it runs off track in use, you may bend the bracket slightly to engage the switch earlier. Install the torch height motor assembly with mounting bracket. Okay. Okay. We're going to pull this back towards us. Okay, so I'll get you guys over here so you can see where we're at. All right, so we're going to be installing these 2 bolts here onto these 2 bolts there. Biggest thing is make sure this is pushed flush against the bracket. Here, I don't know if you can see it, but here, and then the top will square itself up, obviously, because that's where the bolts are. Okay. 1, 2, little trick, take yourself a wrench. You can add it on there for some leverage. Make sure those are tight and aren't going to back out. Okay. All right, now we should have a controller wire, I believe. Sure do. Okay. Install that. Reinstall the mounts on the X-axis gantry and plug in the motor connector. Motor connector is going to be this little guy that came in the kit. And the keyway is this way. There you go. The screw on, or does it just pop down? Looks like it just pops down. Oh, there's little detent balls on this guy, so it just pops down on this one. All right, that is our axis. Now let's check our limit switches on here. This would go this way. Cool, yeah, that clicks on before all right. Limit switch is check out okay. Install control panel mount arm to the front right leg with the pre-installed hardware. That's going to be the 4 bolts down in this corner. I got to get the other washer one under this crate. There it is. Relatively right up front. Okay. Next, we're going to move this back. Grab our mount. All right, that is solid. We're going to go ahead and take the brakes off the casters. Spin this around. There he goes there. And set a couple casters back. All right. Our next step, I believe, is to put the module in place. Install controller arm, mount the control box with hardware installed to the mount arm with pre-installed hardware. So, yep, now we get the control box. Getting excited, everyone. We're running pretty low on pieces, which means we're almost done building this thing. 1, 2, 3, just fall to the ground apparently. All right, 4. Okay, so get all these, set this up. Roughly about there goes lock washer, flat washer. Controller is mounted. Beautiful. All right. All right. It says the control box with hardware can now be installed to the front right leg. All right. And this was why it was so important that this crossbar be on the lower holes and not the upper holes, because of this bracket here goes past those upper holes. Try to get out of the way here in a second. Okay, so we got the control box. Let's see, plug in control cable to the cut controller box. The Y-axis gantry. Okay, here we go. We're gonna grab our other cables. Control panel cable. It's gonna be this, one of these thick ones, I believe. Okay. Really big black one is going to be control panel cable connector. Yeah. That's this big thick one here. And it goes something like right there. That feels about right. Locks in, and then it'll come up here and lock into place as well. There you go. And then you're gonna have these the same on both sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't think these matter. Same connector on both sides, so. Okay, this is the large green here is our gantry, and I believe that just goes right on over to here. Without any further ado, okay, so that cable should move back and forth. All right, yeah, so there's two options. There is this option that comes for wiring in a plasma cutter. That is not an Eastwood plasma cutter here. And then because I bought the CNC with the cut, it's already pre-wired. I don't gotta do any of this wiring. So this is the last one to hook up. This one is extra. So the blue side will go to the actual plasma cutter. The green side will go to the actual controller. One there. Okay, we got a white dot and a white dot. There we go. And as simple as that, you guys, the plasma cutter is now connected to the machine, and then you have your machine power source. And that's it, you guys. That is completely assembling the Eastwood 4x4 plasma table. Is the Versa-Cut. We're gonna go ahead and do the pan. Pretty self-explanatory. We talked about it in the other video. But we're gonna put the silicone strip in there, seal it, let it dry. As you see, we don't have much room in here, so we gotta move this stuff around. Very, very self-explanatory. I'm not gonna get into detail on how to build the pan. It should be something you can figure out, or you shouldn't be putting this machine together. But it's gonna be the two pieces, all the stainless steel hardware that came, plus the silicone and the silicone strip. Let that cure, then you'll need some help to put the table actually up. It will sit on your rails, and then you can put your slats in. But that's it, you guys. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. We will be bringing you a video once we get the shop rearranged, things figured out. I think I got some scrap metal. Once we get this thing kind of figured out, we'll do a preliminary test cut. We'll go ahead and record that for you guys. Just first try, see how it comes out with all bloopers and everything. So hopefully it comes out and everything just works perfectly, but you never know, fine tweaking may need to happen. So again, we're waiting on the torch itself. So unfortunately, can't really do anything right now. So there's no point in rushing to get the pan done for us, because we have about 4 or 5 days till the torch comes. So, or 3 days, 3 days. Comes on Tuesday. It's now Saturday. The last video we made was yesterday. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and end this video. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. A lot of automotive DIY stuff, a lot of getting into CAD and CNC we're teaching ourselves. It's really awesome. We're really looking forward to it. We also ordered, just a hint to you guys that have watched the video this whole way through, we ended up getting the Rogue Fab M625 electro-hydraulic tube bender. We want to build a roll cage for the Franken Yoda that we're building, the 77 Celica. So that piece of equipment should be here shortly. So we'll probably have a review of that too. So if you guys have stayed this long, we appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and until next time.